Hi there, everyone. I'm the nature guy, and I'm out here in front of the Nature Center at Camp Au today. It's fall. Leaves are turning colors. In fact, the red maples are gorgeous around the lake right now. But there's another group of trees I want to talk about today, and that is the oak trees. Now, there's actually two different types of oak here at Camp Au. The ones with the sharp, pointy ends, they have oak-shaped leaf, but the pointy end ones, they're red oak, and some of them may be black oak. They're so hard to tell apart. You have to do DNA studies to really figure it out. In fact, probably here at Camp Au, most of our red oaks are actually hybrids with black oaks. So it's a mixture of the two species. The other one is the white oak, and it has the same general oak shape, but the tips are rounded, and so we know that that's white oak. Now, it's interesting. They both produce acorns, but the acorns are different. The white oaks are much bigger. Now, these are just the caps of the oaks. Here's one of the acorns, and the acorn, of course, is inside the cap, and then they pop out, and this is highly prized by animals to eat. They are much sweeter. They're not as bitter as the red oak. So the white oak, when they fall, they get eaten up pretty quickly by squirrels and deer. They really like that. So they're rounder acorns, and they're bigger. Now the red oaks, here's one in its cap. The red oaks are sort of a much longer acorn and a little pointy tip on the end. And of course they had caps, but they often fall out of the caps, and then the caps fall down later, usually in the fall season. But these are apparently more bitter. I've not eaten either of them. These ones are bitter enough and have enough tannins in them they can make you sick. But the white oaks, if you get them before the animals do, they can be roasted and cracked open and eaten, and they're quite nutritious. Now, there's something else that you can find on an oak besides the acorns. It's kind of round and sometimes brown. Let me tell you about it. So here's an example. It's called a gall. It's brown and round up in the oak trees. Now, the acorns usually are attached at the base of the leaves, okay? But these galls grow on the leaves themselves. And what it is actually an insect laid its egg in the leaf. And the leaf tissue detects that, and then it grows out around it in this usually roundish structure surrounding the egg. Now, it doesn't do that to protect the egg, although that does protect the egg. It does it to protect the rest of the leaf tissue so it isn't damaged. So it's an interesting relationship between insects and the leaves of these oak trees. So when you look up into an oak tree and you see little round things, sometimes they're acorns, but sometimes they might be galls. And this gall can actually grow to be the size of an acorn or bigger. And they're about the same color, so it can be confusing. So what's the lesson we can learn from the oak trees and these galls that grow in the leaves? Well, let's kind of imagine that insect that laid the egg was like Satan putting a seed in our minds to try to get us to do stuff that we know we shouldn't do. We need to protect ourselves from that. Just like the leaf kind of grew around that and isolated it so it wasn't part of the leaf at all. That's what we need to do. Be very careful about the temptations that the devil gives us and make sure that we get rid of those as best we can. Of course, the best way is to ask Jesus for help. That's our lesson for today. See you next time. Bye now.